So I'll just share the screen for today's Bhagavad-gītā verses. Okay. Om Jnantimandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagannath Bhattacharya Mai ki jai. Sri Bhagavan Ramachandra. So the three verses we'll discuss today is from chapter 11, the universal form, 15, 16, and 17. So first let us recite the verses and translation. Arjuna Vacha Pashyami Devams Tava Deva Dehe Sarvams Tata Bhuta Vishesha Sanghan Brahmanamisham Kamalasanastam Rishimscha Sarvan Uragamscha Divyan. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna said, My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine serpents. The 16th verse. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram Pashyami tvam sarvato anantarupam Nantam na madhyam na punastavadim Pashyami Vishveshwara Veshwarupa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is unlimited, and thus through him everything could be seen. Go to 17th verse. Kiritinam Garinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rashim Sarvato Deeptimantam Pashyami Tvam Durnirikshan Samantat Deeptanalarka Ditima Prameyam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a very useful chapter to understand why Arjuna wanted to see the universal form. Actually, the whole thing has been very beautifully given in the first verse, purport. Prabhupada, just read out that purport. Very easy to understand and have an idea. Prabhupada says in the purport of 11.1, this chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. So 11th chapter. He is even the cause of Mahavishnu, from whom material universes emanate. Krishna is not an incarnation. He is the source of all incarnations. And that has been completely explained in the last chapter, that is in the 10th chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he says that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as a source of everything. So Arjuna is very enlightened and is glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity for all, he is requesting Krishna in this chapter, 11th chapter, to show his universal form. So that is the reason. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened, like Arjuna. But Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. So Arjuna agrees to what Krishna has several times said. Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit. So Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. So he is now convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as the super soul. So it's a very important point for us to understand, right? But that is the reason why Arjuna asked Shukra, because other people may not believe, right? So the people always in the current in this yuga, they want everything big, huge, world records, no? Everything big. Then they feel, oh, this is correct, this is nice. Then they believe. So this is a point we should understand. See, this chapter, there's a connection between the 10th and 11th chapter. So after hearing Krishna's words in chapter 10, no, where Krishna says, with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. He says in the 10.42 verse. So Arjuna wishes to see that all-pervasive form of the Lord. See, although Krishna is driving Arjuna's chariot, he pervades and supports the entire universe. So Arjuna therefore wishes to see Krishna's all-pervading form. So Arjuna asks Krishna to reveal his universal form. See, the qualification to see Krishna is only by revelation by the mercy of the Lord. So therefore Arjuna requests and pleads, no, and does not order it, right? So it is not possible to see by mental speculation or perception by mental senses. It's not possible to see the universe. Now, because see, living entity has very infinitesimal, very tiny spiritual spark. They cannot know the unlimited infinite, right? So Arjuna admits his limitation as a living entity. And he acknowledges Krishna's inestimable position. We cannot estimate, right? And therefore Krishna is also known as, addressed as Yogeshwara. Point out his inconceivable potencies by which the infinite can reveal to the finite. So Krishna is not obliged, no, to reveal himself, right? Until one fully surrenders to, right? So in Krishna consciousness, that we have to first surrender and also engage in transcendental love and service. Then Krishna will reveal himself. So this chapter reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. See, Krishna knows the desire of Arjuna. And he can understand that Arjuna has no special desire to see him in his universal form. But Arjuna is completely satisfied to see him in his personal form of Krishna, right? But the Lord can understand also that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to convince others, right? So Arjuna did not have any personal desire for confirmation. And Krishna also understands that Arjuna wants to see the universal form to set a criterion, right? For in the future, there will be so many imposters who would pose themselves as the incarnations of God. If we say, I am God, then please show the universal form or lift the go over the Nile. So the people therefore should be careful. One who claims to be Krishna should be prepared to show the universal form to confirm his claim to the people. Correct. So Arjuna, just hold on. So this is a point to understand. 1 minute. So this chapter, universal form, is very important for us to understand. So Krishna, he is telling, Arjuna is asking Krishna to show the form so that in future generations, no, they know Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So see in this purport of 11.15, Arjuna sees everything in the universe. Therefore, he sees Brahma, who is the first creature in the universe, and the celestial serpent upon which the Garbhodakasha Vishnu lies in the low regions of the universe. So the second Vishnu incarnation is Garbhodakashai Vishnu, enters each and every universe, right? And spreads perspiration from his body and lies down on that water. See, from his navel grows the stem of a lotus flower. And on that lotus flower, the first creature, Brahma, is born. And within the stem of the lotus flower are the 14 divisions of planetary systems, and which are created by Brahma. So in the form of Garbhodakashai Vishnu, the Lord maintains each universe and it also tends to eat all its needs. Then in the purport, we again see this snake bird is called Vasuki. Right, in the 15th, we just saw the snake bird is called Vasuki. There are also other snakes known as Vasuki. It's in the summary of 5th canto, 24th chapter of Bhagavatam. It says, below Sutala is a planet Talatala, the abode of the demon Maya. So this demon is always materially happy because he is favored by Lord Shiva, but he cannot achieve spiritual happiness at any time. And below Talatala is the planet Mahatala, where there are many snakes with hundreds and thousands of hoods. And below Mahatala is Rasatala. And below that is Patala, where the serpent Vasuki lives with his associates. That's why in the same 524, 31st verse purport, beneath Rasatala is another planetary system known as Patala or Nagaloka, where there are many demonic serpents, the masters of Nagaloka, such as Shanka, Kulika, Mahashanka, Shweta, Dhananjaya, Dhritarashtra, Shankachuda, Kambala, Ashwatara, and Devadatta. The names of all the different snakes, right? So the chief among them is Vasuki. See, they are all extremely angry and they have many, many hoods. Some snakes, 5 hoods, some 7, some 10, others 100, others 1,000. So these hoods are bedecked with valuable jewels, gems, right? And the light emanating from the gems illuminates the entire planetary system of Bilas Swarga. Bilas Swarga is the lowest planet. And in the purport of 8711, Prabhupada says, everyone in this material world is under the different modes of material nature. See, there were 3 different parties when the churning of the Mandara mountain was happening. The demigods, who were in the mode of goodness, the demons, who were in the mode of passion, and the snake Vasuki, who was in the mode of ignorance. Now, since they were all becoming tired, Vasuki was so much so that he was almost going to die. So Lord Vishnu, to encourage them to continue the work of churning the ocean, he entered into them according to their respective modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. See, Garuda, he was asked by the Lord to leave that place when they were churning, because the snake Vasuki was to be used as the rope for churning. He could not go there in the presence of Garuda. So Garuda, the carrier of Lord Vishnu, is not a vegetarian. He eats big snakes. So Vasuki, being a great snake, would be natural food for Garuda, the chief of birds. That's what Prabhupada says in 8639 Bhagavatam. Purport. So Lord Vishnu therefore asked Garuda to leave so that Vasuki could be brought to churn the ocean with Mandara mountain, and which was to be used as a churning rod. So these are the wonderful arrangements of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nothing takes place by accident. And we saw that in this I think the 17th verse, right? Of course, in the 16th, he said, "Oh, Lord of the universe, oh, universe, I see in your body many, many palms, bellies, eyes expanded without. So there you don't have any middle end or nothing. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the cause of all causes. And in 17th, he said, your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence. And it's spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. So I see the glowing form everywhere, adorned with crowns, clubs, and discs. So ornaments are also there. So shines with unique and extraordinary brilliance. So in this material world, let us see what are the transcendental ornaments, right? So in this material world, we see that the jewels, like gold, silver, or diamond, we wear. So, but it becomes dull over the course of time and lose their shine. You have to give for polishing again, right? So this is because our body is being made of material elements. It has no effulgence by nature. And so we depend on various ornaments to look bright. Also, the ornaments we wear become dull in due course of time because of the sweat and other secretions from our body and due to contact with our skin. So also our jewels are prone to get dirty due to the dust from atmosphere, which makes them dull in due course of time. So people polish the jewels to get the shining back. Even if the jewels are new or polished ones, their shine is limited. So, but we can see from the scriptures that the effulgence of the Lord's transcendental ornaments is unparalleled and unlimited. So ornaments shine brilliantly, always brilliantly, because they are in constant touch with the Lord's form, which is transcendental and it has infinite radiance. In fact, the jewels, they derive the radiance from the Lord's form. It's not from the ornaments that Krishna gets the radiance. The radiance, jewels derive it from the Lord's form. So also the jewels never lose their shine because they are spiritual and not influenced by the dirty things of this material world. So even though the Lord pervades the entire creation in his spiritual form with all ornaments and decorations, the ornaments never get touched by the filthy things of this world, even though he is present in them. That's why in Bhagavad-gītā 11.17 we saw, no? You can see that when the Lord showed his universal form to Arjuna, you can see that the form was glowing with all the ornaments and weapons. So the Lord's form is effulgent, like blazing fire or radiance of the sun. See, usually when we see such a bright object, its brightness, no, it covers the brightness of other things around. Correct? But here we see that Arjuna states that he is able to see the Lord's form with many crowns and weapons. Otherwise, when it's fully bright, no, we cannot see, right? But Arjuna was able to. This means that the effulgence of the Lord's ornaments actually matches with the effulgence of the Lord's form. And that's why Arjuna was able to see them very clearly. So here the crown, Kirita of the Lord is mentioned as a representation for all his other ornaments which are also shining brilliantly. So the Lord's form was effulgent like the sun's radiance, and hence his ornaments were also shining in the same way. Now Srimad Bhagavatam also confirms. Arka Kirita Justu, 4:720 Bhagavatam. His helmet was as dazzling as the sun. The helmet is so effulgent. So in the metal world, people buy expensive and exquisite diamond studs and earrings, with big diamond stones so that they shine brightly and attract the attention of others. But in the case of the Lord, his earrings shine so much that they defeat the power of lightning. So this is confirmed in Bhagavad Puran as Vidyut Kshipan Makara Kundala Mandanarha 3:15:41. See, his countenance was distinguished by cheeks that enhance the beauty of his alligator-shaped pendants, right, which outshone lightning. His necklace and earrings. So as this is same is the case with his other ornaments, okay. His helmet, bracelets, belt, the fine arm ornaments, they all shine brilliantly. Bhagavatam 11:27-39 very nicely gives this. And Lord's ornaments are bedecked with precious gems and stones. They also shine with great effulgence, as shown in Bhagavatam 10:89-55. So radiance of the jewels embedded in his ornaments illuminate his locks of hair also. So the 10:89-55, where it says, his profuse locks of hair were bathed on all sides in the brilliance reflected from the clusters of precious jewels decorating his crown and earrings. So Lord's ornaments are uncommonly effulgent. So far we have meditated on the various extraordinary qualities of the Lord's ornaments, right? So these are so we will go on seeing that. And in fact, these are all glorified by the great Vaishnava Acharya, Sripad Ramanujacharya. See, in this chapter only, the 47th verse, right? Where now after Arjuna's requesting Krishna to show the universe and everything, Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, happily I have shown you by my eternal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Now my Guru Maharaj took the key words. So where Krishna says, I have shown you and my internal potency. So here Krishna is telling that he showed his universal form, and that too through his internal potency. So Krishna says that he showed his universal form through his internal potency. So what was Arjuna's role in that? Actually, Arjuna was supposed to serve Krishna. He was to serve Krishna, right? But if you see in the entire Mahabharata, you never come across a situation where Arjuna served Krishna. In fact, it was Krishna who was serving Arjuna, charioteer, messenger, advisor, everything. So when we also perform some devotional service, we think that we are doing that service. This is completely wrong. We are doing nothing really. And to claim that we are doing devotional service to Krishna is completely not correct. So we are using Krishna. See, we are using Krishna given body. We are using Krishna given energy and his material nature and time also to serve him. And then we are so proud that I have done so much reading. I have done so much kirtans. We do not even know what is happening within our own body. According to science, every minute the heart pumps out 5 liters of blood. Do we ever feel it at all? Is there any noise coming from our body out of that activity? If we had created a machine which pumps 5 liters of liquid in a minute, it would be making so much noise. It will be a complete nuisance. So in devotional service or any other form of service, it is not we who are doing that action, but it's Krishna who is making it happen. It is not we who is serving, but it is actually Krishna who is serving us at every moment. So the only thing we did from our side is a little bit of inclination to do some seva. And that too most half-heartedly, or else with some hidden motive. So in devotional service, we should first get rid of the idea from our mind that we are serving. Rather, everything is done by the internal potency of Krishna at his command. So this is a very extremely powerful message for all of us aspiring devotees who are engaging in preaching and other limbs of devotional service. See, oftentimes we face challenging situations when encountered with praise and appreciation for our service. Right? People say, appreciate, oh, very nice, and Kirtan, very nice class. See, we do not know how to handle it. We think we actually deserve it. In fact, appreciation, that is fame, is so very easily obtained in devotional service that many times we talk, serve, or act in Krishna consciousness only to hear some good words of praise from others to satisfy our false ego. As long as we maintain this mentality, getting the real taste for devotional service is next to impossible. So another point to understand is the atheism, right? Atheistic conception. How to defeat the atheistic conceptions in our minds. So the general argument in atheism is we can believe in God only when we see Him. Right? So how to believe in something which we cannot see at all? Here again, my Guru Maharaj in one of his classes very nicely refuted this. He said, see, everywhere we believe without seeing. For example, he gave an example. This was a class in UK. He said, you are here, he was telling to one of the devotee who went from India to UK. He said, for example, you are here in UK. Definitely you must have applied for visa, got it stamped by going to the British consulate, and the company must have given you the tickets and some cash for your expenses. And you must have traveled by flight here to UK. And he said, I have not seen you doing all these activities. But still I believe them. Because without doing all those activities, you will not be here. So in the same way, he said to another devotee, I have not come for your marriage, but I see your child. So I believe that you are married, even though I have not been seen your marriage. So in this way, we can understand that in so many places we believe without seeing. But when it comes to Krishna, we say, first show him, and then I will believe him. So the reason why we don't believe, see, please listen, this statement is very important. The reason why we don't want to believe in Krishna is, if we believe in Krishna, then we should refine our behavior, right? So we actually don't want to refine our behavior. We want to have a carefree, unrestricted behavior. So that's the reason we find excuses for not believing in Krishna. So sometimes we feel, is God really existing? Is the world working according to the Lord's will? So this thought still persists in spite of so much association with devotees and reading the scriptures and hearing them for many years. So atheism is right within our hearts. But continuing devotional service is the only way. Chanting one round, add 2, 4, 6, up to 16. Go on adding and go on chanting. Continuing devotional service means is the only way to eradicate these atheistic thoughts from our heart and then install the unshakable faith in the Lord's greatness. See, the Shruti mantras, it explains the Supreme Person cannot be seen with material eyes or described with material words or any other senses. He is not attained by austerity or fruity work. Only when by His mercy one becomes wise and pure in heart. Only by that, then only we can see the Supreme Lord in trance of meditation. In the Mahabharata, there is a nice incident to prove that our material eyes or any other senses cannot access the Supreme Lord. Dhritarashtra was blind from his birth and he could not see anything. So when Lord Krishna came to the court of Kauravas for peace negotiation, Krishna exhibited his universal form there also. And only great souls like Bhishma Dev, Vidur could see him. The Kauravas were unable to see him due to the glaring effulgence of his form. So Krishna, he granted a divine vision to Dhritarashtra and he was able to see the Lord for a few moments. See, so a blind person could see the Lord by his grace. Now, the other point is, Arjuna was quite opposite to Dhritarashtra, right, in this aspect. See, one of the great archers, he was having a very sharp and powerful eyesight, and which is a prime requirement for an archer, right? So when the Lord decided to show his universal form in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna said, you will not be able to behold my form with your present eyes. I will give you divine vision. See, so both Arjuna and Dhritarashtra were equal before the Lord in this aspect, that their eyes were equally useless in beholding the Lord's transcendental form. So Krishna blessed them with divine vision for seeing him. That's why Krishna declares in Bhagavad-gītā, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into my mysteries of my understanding. So there is no need to see the Lord in person. When we are in touch with his transcendental sound vibration, then it is as good as seeing him. So we can be purified only by chanting and hearing the transcendental vibration of his names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So let us all pray at the feet of Guru, Shri Prabhupada and Krishna and all the pure devotees to bless us, to drive away all these atheistic thoughts, no? And be fixed in chanting the holy names of the Lord. Jai. Chandra Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much, Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions or anything to share, please. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhich kripa sindhu bhaivacha. Paritanam pavane vibhishnu.